So yeah, this is dopey, man. For a long time I've been growling on this thing. I don't know if there's too many people that watch it or whatnot. I've said some other videos about some other stuff. But I'm from Clinton, Iowa, and I'm in this death hole of a fucking horrible anchor of death that's just fucking sucking the fucking life out of me or something. I was just doing this video because I need to talk to... I don't have friends. I'm a loser. I actually used to be pretty popular. I used to smoke a lot of weed. And I can't smoke weed right now. Or do drugs. Or psychedelics. Which sucks because I'm addicted. And because I fucked up my digestive system. And when I was a dope head and fucking a drug addict, I had friends all the time, man. I was like popular king shit, you know. But you start to find out that drugs and partying is like your main connection to friendship, then that's really not a true friendship. And whatever true friends I got now are awesome. I love them. I got a buddy Critter and my buddy Shredder. Those are my two main homies, you know. And Shredder's like my best friend, my homeboy. Fucking, we hooked up this summer because I have another homeboy, my buddy Sleepy. For years, since I was 14, I've been into music, man. Music's my life. It's had some huge influence on me. I worship it. Let's see. Yeah, man, when I was a kid, since I was a child, I've been addicted to Pantera and White Zombie. Those are my two favorite bands that has ever been in the mainstream that I have always loved. And I'm obsessed with Pantera and White Zombie, you know, to the point where it possessed me. And then there's been other albums I've been possessed with. One of the #1 albums that I also love is Korn, Life is Peachy. Best fucking Korn album in the world. And I love Slipknot's first album. I loved Mudvayne's first album. I love Kitty. Kitty's still brutal. Kitty is a brutal fucking band. OTEP, Slayer, Soulfly. Soulfly is brutal. I even dug Limp Bizkit when they were out, man, you know. But after the chocolate starfish flavored water, you know, and Fred Durst, I'm a fan of Wes Borland. Wes will always be him. Big Dumb Face, man, you need to come back. A Big Dumb Face was fucking brutal. That was beast shit, man. I love that album. And Power Man 5000 was brutal when they came out too. What the fuck happened to those guys? You know, I mean, some really great bands that I really liked that are no longer around. I like Godsmack, and friends will always make fun of me for liking Godsmack. I don't know why. I think Godsmack is one of the only bands that have ever started out that have never sold out. And if you could stick to your sound and just evolve it, then that's brutal instead of selling out and totally going from what you started to something that like Mudvayne. A big fucking sellout band. Mudvayne, when they first came out, man, they had like the potential of being a new Pantera in the mainstream. Their first album, if they would have evolved that sound, but they got lighter and lighter and lighter. Now they're just emo hippies, or not even emo hippie. I shouldn't even say they're hippie because that would be a compliment. Hippies are cool, but it's just like a mascara, makeup, and gloves. I don't really care too much for it. There's no yelling and screaming, and the bass isn't as slappy, and it's not as heavy as it used to be. It's just fucking... It seems like music now is just fucking... In the 8th grade, man, I was so into music. In the 6th grade, I was into Slipknot. Really big. Really big into Slipknot. So huge into Slipknot. I loved them, man. Every magazine that Slipknot was in, I buy it, cut out the pictures, put it all over my fucking walls. And then I tried showing them to all my friends in the 6th grade. I tried showing them to my cousin. I drew I had the S memorized, the Slipknot S memorized. Drew it on my folders, drew it on my arms every day. Fucking. And no one liked Slipknot. No, none of my friends did. Yeah, I went to Lawton, and then the friends that I had in Lawton, Oklahoma, didn't like Slipknot. They're like, that's just a bunch of noise, 9 people making fucking ridiculous music. I thought it was brutal, and I even liked Iowa that came out. And in the 8th grade, they end up becoming on MTV or being on TV. You know, all of a sudden, and then that's when I realized that's what people like is what the tube tells them to like. You know, like I mean, all my friends started liking them. And I was just like, this is stupid. You know, I don't really like what I thought that was my own world. You know, I liked having my own thing that nobody else did, that I found genuine, until the whole world started to like it. You know, and even Preps was like, I dig Slipknot and Mudvayne and shit like that. Yeah, because they're on MTV and everyone this was when they played music, when they had TRL and a bunch of other things on MTV. But now they I don't even know. MTV's a joke. Music television, no longer playing music. MTV might as well be the reality TV, real TV. You know, that's really what it should be, reality TV. And it's horrible. I remember watching MTV all the time to see Korn on there. I loved Korn from their first album to Issues, and after Issues, like it was Untouchables, I lost contact with them. I didn't really care too much for Untouchables. It wasn't bad, but I just didn't like it. As Issues was just so brutal, and I talked to people that don't like Issues, that I'm like, what the fuck, man? Issues was like a great fucking album. Every album that Korn the first 4 albums that Korn came out with are awesome. Head is a beast. Without Head, you can't have Korn, you know. So I mean, Korn's still, you know, doing their thing, and they still trying to their sound as much as possible. I can respect that. I don't keep up with them. I don't know what the fuck's going on. The last thing I saw was a music video of them in a cornfield. But to my point is, you know, people like what they want you to like, or what they think is cool, you know, and then it's a trend. And I've always been about Pantera. The Great Southern Treadkill was like my Phil Insomnia was like my god, man. Like I listened to his lyrics and took them literally, you know. I lived that shit. Becoming was my anthem in middle school. Not running from beatings, standing up for myself as much as possible. In high school, I did, man. I was scared of fights, and then I would just play Pantera in my head and just go for a fight. You know, fuck it. That's how it was, you know. I was like, I'm no longer running from beatings, and I'll bleed if I have to. And it's just blood. And music like that helped me, you know, get through some hard parts of my life, some tough parts of that shit. Because when you're a kid like me, I don't know, you get picked on because you're not in with the crowd or whatever, or they just start saying you're evil or some shit like that. But then you take on the persona of it. But in the 8th grade, I didn't like Slipknot anymore because everyone else did. So then I bought metal magazines, and I've always seen these fucking albums and bands that I never heard of, like Metal Maniacs and Circus, Hit Parader. I don't even think they're around anymore, which is like, wow, what the fuck happened? Those were the #1 magazines that were around those days, and they're not around anymore. I don't even know what happened to them. And fuck. But anyways, as looking through those magazines, I see a band like Mortician and 6 Feet Under, Brutal Truth. I'm like, wow, this is it looks like it'd be some intense shit, like some heavy metal. And I was like, wow. I saw 6 Feet Under and Chris Barnes, and he had these huge dreadlocks, a beard, doing this, you know, like. And I was just like, wow, that looks pretty cool, you know. And I ordered a 6 Feet Under album. First one, Maximum Violence. And when I heard Maximum Violence, I heard death metal for the first time in my life. And I was addicted. And when that happened, I was like, this is music. This is my new music. This is the future of my music. So then I ordered a Mortician album. I'm pretty sure it was hacked up for barbecue. No, chainsaw dismemberment. That's what it was. Chainsaw dismemberment. And it had just looking at the album gave me the creeps. It just stirred up in my stomach, man. It was just seemed so wrong to even like it. Like it was a chick tied to a stump with a leg chainsawed off, and her boyfriend's tied behind her dead, and the dude's in a barn holding a chainsaw. I'm like, there's an album cover out that's like that. That's about serial killing. I'm like, whoa, and it just makes you feel like, oh, that's like evil, dude. You know, let's check it out. So I did, and I was like, this is some weird shit. Mortician is like one of the most weirdest death metal bands you'll ever get. It sounds like industrial death metal. I mean, they got this great sound that's like their original sound, and it's really fast. It's great. Mortician's brutal. They're a beast. I've been a big fan of them for a long time. I used to have a couple of their t-shirts over the years, and I lost them. I had hacked up for barbecue. I don't know what the fuck happened in that one. It was a great t-shirt, and but anyways, that's where I started getting into death metal at the age of 14. And then from 6 Feet Under, I got into Cannibal Corpse, knowing Chris Barnes is reading more about it, getting more into it, find out Chris Barnes was the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse. And then as a kid, I seen it when I was about Ace Ventura when they were in there, and I had no idea, you know, that was Cannibal Corpse and when that was death metal. I didn't know what that was because I was a kid, and then I watched it. I'm like, yeah, this is killer, hammer smashed face, and then I listened to more Cannibal Corpse, and I was open to anything. I was even listening to Cradle of Filth, like black metal, Doomy Bajor, Doomy Burger, whatever, and not much into black metal anymore, because at that time there was only black metal and death metal, and Skinless. Oh my god, when I first heard the first Skinless album, I thought I heard the best fucking album I've ever heard in my entire life. And then Dying Fetus came, and Dying Fetus, oh Jesus, and it just grew from there. Death metal. I'm still addicted to death metal, huge. And then there's a part of me for the longest time. I wrote in this. I had a notebook. Let's see. It was about like a regular notebook like this, except with a cover. You know, that's just like this. And from front to back, man, I had death metal songs. Songs about murder, songs about cannibalism, songs about eating babies, songs about killing fetuses, stabbing women, raping women, beating women. I mean, that's death metal. Metal is about murder. Let's just get right to the point. Metal is about murder, cold-blooded evil, man. And I became pretty evil, you know. I started to have some pretty sick shit that I'm not going to say on camera, because I don't like to admit some of the stuff that I thought about. And I knew something was wrong with me, and I didn't care, and I embraced it. And I could have been a sick fucker. I really could have been. I was trying to become a serial killer. That's what that music ended up making me feel like I wanted to become. Deicide made me hate God. I just wanted revenge on life. I wanted to murder people. And writing songs about it, you mentally practice it. You're thinking about, like, what would be the best way to kill somebody and write it in lyrics. That's how that shit is. That's how it... And thank God Dying Fetus came out, man. Thank fucking God. That delivered me from that shit, man. The bands... It's not a big thing. I still listen to death metal, but I don't let it have as much as effect on me as I did when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with murder. I really was. I was obsessed with serial killers. I have Charles Manson tattooed on my back. Charles Manson's my god. I see I'm almost done here. I'm going to make a part 2 of this. So, anyways, if it cuts out, I'll just start another one. Because I'm not going to stop all this. This is eventually getting to one point. I'm making like a diary blog or something. But, yeah, man, and Dying Fetus. I'm actually going to stop there right now and go to the next part. And this is going to be music, Behold the Bludgeoner, CD, debut, album, blah, 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 blah. Have a nice day. Peace.